Amongst the most premium credit cards in the market, the Amex Platinum's annual fee is the highest at $695. Every year, regardless of the issuer, when the annual fee hits, I call in to ask if, hey, are there any retention offers on my account? These are essentially a way for an issuer to maintain the relationship if a customer was deciding between whether or not to cancel their card. Even if the issuer isn't waiving the entire annual fee, they may offer a different type of offer, for example, a spending incentive bonus. Just an example, it could be something like get 20,000 points after $3,000 in spend in the next 3 months. This sounds similar to a new card member bonus, just not as juicy. It's an angle to keep both parties content and maintain the relationship for another year till the whole dance happens again. Although I didn't get a retention offer, in this video I'll be covering exactly why I'm still going to be keeping the Amex Platinum for the forthcoming year, as well as what you may want to consider given my personal experience if you're in the same situation or maybe at some future point. The Amex Platinum earns 5x membership reward points per dollar spent on flights and 1x everywhere else. There are quite a few credits and perks, a coupon's book worth of credit and perks, which have helped me make this decision for keeping the Amex Platinum in this forthcoming year. Starting off, you have a $240 streaming credit, which is distributed $20 every single month. In my situation, I'm essentially getting full value of this credit as it's spend I would have done regardless, and it's $19.99 towards the Disney bundle each and every month. Each year you can select one airline and incur certain incidental fees with this credit. You can't use this to book actual airfare, but I'll put the applicable charges on screen. Back in the day, it was a lot easier to get full value of this credit by purchasing, for example, gift cards through the airlines and then using those gift cards for booking airfare. Over time, as things have changed, my strategy has also changed. So instead of getting that airline credit for a singular airline such as Delta, United, American, I've actually chosen Spirit Airlines of more recent. The reason this works out for me in this situation is with airfare such as $19, $29, $39 and items like this, even if I need to book baggage, if it's that much cheaper than taking one of the bigger airlines, it could well be worth it. A specific use case is I booked a journey for one of my parents and I bought the big front seat of Spirit Airlines, which is as close as you get to first class on their flights. To my memory, it was around an $80 charge, which included not just a seat upgrade, but baggage as well. On Spirit, the baggage is around that $60 per bag, which is well worth it for the use case I had. Moving on, you get $200 to Uber each and every year, and that includes Uber as well as Uber Eats. That $200 is distributed monthly again, $15 each and every month with the Platinum, and in December, you're gonna get $35. Frankly speaking, if I just had the Platinum, I know myself, and I probably would have overspent trying to use this credit. Yet because I have the Amex Gold as well, which gives you $10 in Uber/Uber Eats credit every single month, having both of them resulted in $25 on average each and every month. And in December, it would be $35 from the Platinum and $10 from the Gold, resulting in $45 in December. The reason I mention this is if I'm doing, let's say, Uber Eats pickup, where there's no delivery fees or Uber fees attached to that, then essentially that $25 per month on average could be, let's say, a meal or two, which I can still pick up and get that equivalent value as if I was paying cash without the Uber fees on their platform. Uber One is a program specific to Uber's platform where you're able to get free deliveries and other certain perks. And I feel that the Gold and Platinum, the credits that they give you for Uber, is indirectly a way, let's say, for folks to use that credit for the Uber One monthly membership fee, and this way they would get elevated perks when they're using Uber/Uber Eats. This program isn't really that valuable to me, but definitely there are folks that may use Uber heavily where this credit going for that program would save them way more than $10 each and every month, or way more than $15. Overall, I'm getting max value out of this credit given my use case. Next up, you get $100 to Saks Fifth Avenue, and it's distributed to you $50 in the first half of the year and $50 in the second half of the year. As I personally don't shop at Saks Fifth Avenue as a regular, I do feel I'm purchasing things that maybe I would not generally purchase or spend a higher amount than I normally would intend. This being the case, that $100 of credit, really I would value it more towards, let's say, $50. If we sum up everything we've covered so far, we're looking at $240 for the streaming credit, $200 for the travel credit, $200 for the Uber/Uber Eats credit, and $50 is what I'm valuing the $100 Saks Fifth Avenue credit. And in total, that's $690 thus far. There's quite a few additional benefits, and I'll go over primarily the main ones you may want to consider. The first one's going to be Walmart Plus, where it's $12.95 a month for certain Walmart type of perks, and I'll put them up on screen. I think there's some great value to have if you're shipping, let's say, from walmart.com to your home. It's just something I haven't used thus far just yet. From there, if you're flying Delta and have the Amex Platinum, you're able to access the Delta Sky Club. During my profession as a management consultant where I was traveling every single week, and I was flying Delta out of the Atlanta airport, that Delta Sky Club access with the Amex Platinum was OP. This OP overpowered benefit was so useful for me. I felt like it was the best thing ever, and I was so grateful I had the Platinum. On the flip side, with everything COVID, this benefit was basically used maybe once or twice during that whole 2-year plus period. Overall, this benefit can be supremely useful depending on your situation. Next, you have Amex Centurion Lounge access by having the Amex Platinum. This is a network of Amex branded lounges across the world in multiple airports. As travel has become more normal over the last year, if you've been to any airport with an Amex lounge, I'm sure you've noticed that it's been pretty overcrowded and there could be lines just leading out and a long waiting time to access these Amex Centurion lounges. To combat this, Amex has introduced new eligibility criteria for you to bring in guests to the Amex Centurion lounge. And instead of waiting, for example, there's another perk by the Amex Platinum and across other premium cards in the space known as Priority Pass. You get access to 1,400 plus lounges worldwide, and it's a pretty similar perk in the premium credit card space, as well as this following perk as well: TSA PreCheck and Global Entry. At the time of recording, TSA PreCheck is $85 and Global Entry at $100. This is essentially the application fee, after which you would go for an interview, and for me personally, I've had this perk on 3 different cards and I've used that credit, yet I never showed up for the interview. This is poor planning on my case, and obviously with so many credits I took it for granted, thinking that, oh, I'll go eventually, let me just book this appointment, and just based on schedule it never happened. But what I'm getting at is with the Amex Platinum, I still have this credit intact. This credit refreshes every 4 years for context, and I'll be using it eventually when I do, and when I get that, I'll make a video on my experience and how the process goes. On the same subject of time saving at checking in at the airport, you get $189 credit for Clear. When you're at the airport, you have your general line, you have your TSA PreCheck, your Global Entry, and Clear is also another expedited type of line. Moving on to hotel status, at this very current moment in time, with Marriott I'm Platinum Elite and with Hilton I'm Hilton Diamond. Both of these statuses were carried over from everything pre-COVID, genuinely speaking, because they've extended statuses repeatedly. And I'm Diamond with Hilton because of the Hilton Aspire, which I used to have, and I'm Platinum Elite through Marriott just because I was traveling that heavily before COVID. This is important because my statuses are gonna go away. I'm Lifetime Silver with Marriott, which is not that high, and at the same time with Hilton, I'll be bumped down to, let's say, the lowest status. At the same time, because of the Amex Platinum, we'll get Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold at minimum. Essentially, by holding the Platinum, that's basically the status I would always have just because of having this credit card in the long term. Coming to the retention script, the one I used was by a fellow YouTuber known as Daniel Braun. It was more concise and straight to the point, unlike ones I've used in previous times, and I couldn't get through to anyone on Amex chat, so I had to call in. The reason I didn't get a retention offer, in my opinion, is if you think through the fact of, hey, a retention offer, what is it for? It's essentially to retain someone's business if that customer, let's say, is valuable. I hardly made any spend on the Amex Platinum last year. We're talking about a few grand, and that's pushing it. So I understand a retention offer for a candidate such as myself. I probably am not the demographic that they're really trying to give out retention offers to keep someone's business. With that being the case, if you want to consider one level below the Platinum, the Amex Gold, check out this video here. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.